What's going on, guys? It is I, RGT85. Hope everyone is having a great Friday, but as per usual, we have some video game news to talk about today. We got some good news to talk about and a bit of bad news, so we're going to look at both of these topics and dive into them. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, be sure to like and share the video as well, but without any further ado, let's talk about what's going on in the world of video games, and we're going to start things off with the good news. We're going to start things off with a good note on this video, and that is we are getting a Pokemon Presents presentation very soon. Now, there had been rumors about a Pokemon Direct happening very soon. Of course, we recently just had the Indie World presentation for Nintendo with all of their indie games coming to the Switch. Now we're pretty much believing that there is going to be a September big Nintendo Direct, as well as things are starting to leak out about the holiday lineups for all companies. We of course talked about the Grand Theft Auto trilogy coming to the Nintendo Switch as well, which I think would be an awesome announcement to do at a Nintendo Direct. Make sure you guys check out that video from yesterday. Kind of a late upload, so you might have missed it, but yes, we are getting a Pokemon Presents presentation happening next Wednesday, August 18th at 6 a.m. Pacific time. Now, I am on the East Coast, so that is 9 a.m. because East Coast, Beast Coast, you know, it's the best coast, so it's happening at 9 a.m. so I don't have to wake up super early to check this out. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, RGT, I watch you, I know about you, you're not the biggest Pokemon fan in the world, and you would be right, because there are 3 things happening at this event, and 2 of them I could care less about. Like, I could completely care less about them, and that is Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl. Now, I understand why people are excited for these games. They have a lot of nostalgia to them. If it was a nostalgic game to me, maybe I would care, but I'm just sort of over like traditional Pokemon experiences, especially older ones that are getting just better graphics, and that's really what this is. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are, of course, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes that are coming to the Nintendo Switch, and lots of people are excited for these. Lots of people absolutely love these games. I didn't play these games when they first came out. I had definitely moved on from Pokemon, and I don't really see myself revisiting them with these new releases. I'm sure they're going to be high quality games. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there that are watching this video are really looking forward to these games, and I'm happy for you. But for me, this is a pass. But where things get very interesting, and the game that could potentially bring me back into Pokemon full force, is that Pokemon Arceus will also be at this event, and this is something I really want to see. We of course got a little teaser, a little glimpse at what Pokemon Arceus was, and it's essentially the Breath of the Wild moment for the Pokemon franchise. You know, making this open world Pokemon game where you have this vast big world and you're just like walking around catching Pokemon in different locations. This game is of course releasing early in 2022, in January of 2022, and I'll be really interested to see how far along the development is with this game. Could there be potentially a delay to this game? Of course, many AAA games are getting delayed because of things like the pandemic and stuff like that. So will this game be subject to it? You know, who really knows? Nintendo seems to be able to hit all of their release dates, and I think Pokemon Arceus is a game that they definitely want to have ready. Now, the little glimmer, the little teaser that we saw, there definitely was some problems. Like, the frame rate looked really slow, so I'm definitely interested to see like how far along the build is in this game. And supposedly that build that we saw of Pokemon Arceus's debut was a much older build. I think they're going to dive into the story of the game, what you're actually going to be doing, maybe some of the towns you'll be visiting, but I'm extremely stoked to see more of this game. This game looks like what I want from a Pokemon experience. Like, I'm cool with the traditional Pokemon style, but for me, I want to see the series sort of take that leap, take that expansion, and get into a whole different sort of thing going on within Pokemon. And that's something that I think, like, if you were someone like me who grew up playing Pokemon Red and Blue, like you were like 12 or 13 when those games dropped, this is the Pokemon experience that you have been dreaming of the entire time. This is what you have always thought Pokemon would look like on home consoles, and let's be realistic, that never really happened up until this point. So yes, the Pokemon Presents presentation, like I said, will be happening on August 18th, which is next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, East Coast, Beast Coast. Just don't argue with that. It's just the facts. But I definitely will be reacting to this because, like I said, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, I don't care about you guys. Like, you're gonna be fine games, I'm sure, great representations of the Pokemon franchise, but Arceus, that's what I want to see, and that is what I want to dive into. So hopefully we can get a good glimpse at Arceus, and hopefully we learn a lot about this game, but I'm definitely looking forward to this Pokemon Presents presentation, and that's kind of weird because I really don't care about Pokemon anymore. And finally, we do have to talk about a bit of bad news because, well, it's something that I just want to discuss, and I feel like there's sort of a disconnect between Nintendo of Japan and the rest of the gaming world sometimes. Now, Xbox and Nintendo have been working very well together this console generation. Obviously, Xbox and Nintendo implemented the whole cross-platform play with games like Minecraft, Fortnite, Rocket League, and it pretty much forced PlayStation to also get in on this because PlayStation didn't want to do this. But when you have the two other companies that are working together and doing things like that, your hand is kind of forced. Of course, we've seen things with Microsoft and Nintendo when it comes to Smash Brothers, like Banjo-Kazooie returning onto a Nintendo console as a character in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Then, of course, we've had games come out on the Nintendo Switch that were Microsoft games like the Ori franchise, Cuphead, and other sorts of games have come to the Nintendo Switch that were originally Xbox exclusive titles. So Xbox has definitely changed their philosophy with how games are done and distributed, and Nintendo is a company that is definitely steeped in tradition. You don't really see Nintendo swaying too much left or right with any of these decisions. It's always pretty much just par for the course. Now, of course, there have been rumors of other things happening between Microsoft and Nintendo. It seemed like this partnership was going to sort of expand. Many people thought that there was a potential for like Halo to come to the Nintendo Switch, which is something that I would absolutely love. I've been playing through Halo Reach again. Of course, the online component only because I have never completed a Halo campaign, and I never will because I play Halo for the online. But of course, the other side of the coin with this is Microsoft and Xbox's Game Pass service. Now, there were rumors that Game Pass could potentially come to the Nintendo Switch. It seemed like Microsoft wanted to do this and work with Nintendo and bring Game Pass to the Switch. Now, of course, I never expected this to be like the full version of Game Pass or anything like that. I just expected it to be a more a la carte style, but it was definitely something that was intriguing and definitely something that I think would have been very cool. Well, Phil Spencer did a recent interview with Games Radar. I'll have a link to it in the description box down below, and basically he touched on the whole Nintendo Switch Game Pass relationship. Now, after fielding a few questions about it, he finally sort of answered it completely and said the following. It's the right question because people usually ask me about releasing one individual game or another. And what I say is I want the full Xbox experience to be something that we deliver. We have no plans to bring it to any other kind of closed platforms right now, mainly because the closed platforms don't want something like Game Pass. There's a ton of open platforms out there for us to grow in, the web, PC, and mobile. So all of our focus, frankly, is on those platforms. So this is definitely kind of a double-edged sword, and it's hard for me to justify why Nintendo wouldn't want Game Pass on the Nintendo Switch, because looking at things like this, it just doesn't really make all that much sense. Nintendo wants their first-party games to sell. Nintendo games are what drive Nintendo Switch and Nintendo hardware sales in general, and I get that, and it's not like Nintendo would be putting their games on Game Pass. You would still have to buy their games in a traditional manner. You would just have access to more games with Game Pass, and more than likely games that wouldn't be on the Nintendo Switch to begin with. Like, when you look at Game Pass's library, of course, you're getting all of these first-party Microsoft games and now Bethesda games as well, and you're getting some third-party games as well. So it's like these games would never come to the Nintendo Switch natively, and even if they did, I don't think it would be a big deal to offer this game on Game Pass, or even if you're doing it in a la carte style, it doesn't matter. You could just say, oh, okay, we're not going to put this game on the Nintendo Switch's Game Pass service, but you still have access to all these other games. I don't see how this would be a negative thing for Nintendo in any way, shape, or form. If anything, I think it could potentially help Nintendo Switch sales. Not that it really needs it. Of course, it is always the leading platform month after month in the NPD sales, and it was that for the month of July as well. But this is just like an extra incentive because Nintendo's online kind of sucks. It's not that great, and I feel like working with Microsoft on something like Game Pass would definitely help the online side of things when it comes to the Nintendo Switch. I really feel like this is just that old guard of Nintendo talking, because when you really break it down, Nintendo of Japan is the company that makes all of the decisions for all of Nintendo products. Nintendo of America is essentially a PR company. They don't really do anything, and Nintendo is always sort of focused on the Japanese market, and the American market just sort of adapted to it. Of course, they do throw the American market a bone once in a while, but realistically speaking, Nintendo is a very Japanese company in their game design and how their games even play. So it's something that I feel like if they really looked at it and if maybe they got some outside perspective or maybe some input from Nintendo of America, they would realize that this is actually a really good decision to put things like Game Pass on your Nintendo Switch. You're just adding value to the service. So it seems like Nintendo is the one not wanting this on the Nintendo Switch. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comments section down below, because it is sort of a polarizing topic. Some people do feel that services like Game Pass sort of devalue the value of games, which I don't know, that's kind of weird to me. It's something that I thought initially, but as time has gone on, I really started to see the benefit of Game Pass, and I think once you experience Game Pass, you do see that benefit. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of this. Is Nintendo making the right decision with this, or would you like to see something like Game Pass come to the Nintendo Switch? And Nintendo, well, they need to get their head out of their ass about this. Alrighty, so that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to let me know everything you think in the comments section down below. And as always, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like and share the video. Check out all the links in the description box down below. Follow me on social media. Follow the live channel as well. I'll probably be going live on that channel this weekend. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.